Okay guys, so I think this would make a nice bench if I had this in the center, like for two people. So roughly took a measure of this bench. I got 12 to 16 inches, so I'll go with 16 inches in case it flares out. Make a cut here, and then I'll make a cut 32 inches up from there, and that'll be the bench that I want. This for firewood. And I use this to make a bench. So a seat for somebody is 16, 18 inches wide. And I know this from making furniture. So you got 16 inches, I got 32 inches in width. Give me a little bit in case I want to round off the corners and stuff. But I'm going to use this as a live edge bench, piece of white oak. So I'll save this. I've got to get that into the shop. Now, we have a 2-inch piece here. Again, this white oak is so freaking heavy. I'm just going to cut that into 2x2s. I'm not even going to fool around with it. Firewood. For those of you who are new to my channel, I made these backstops because the backstops that come with it don't work well for me. So these hook onto my 6x6 and it gives me a 6-inch. I can get a 6-inch board from here down to the bunk. So this is like 5 3/4. I do the same thing here, and it makes it a lot sturdier when it comes to holding the boards. And these are my Stay Put Dawg Adapters. That is so solid. Alright, let's see here. I'm going to start getting 2x2 somewhere around 11 inches. looks like I got a really nice big piece of white oak here. At least the one light well, the widest point here, 21 inches. Got a crack right up to here, so I cut it off here. Oh, I just don't want to have all this stuff laying around. There's probably 20 people watching this video that are saying, please don't cut it. But I'm just saying, I got no room for all this stuff. There's another one underneath there just like this. I'm going to cut this right here because there's 2 cracks in it. And then I'm going to think about what I'm going to do with it. I'm not sure yet. It's a shame for this wood. Firewood. I can't do nothing with it. I'm not stacking all these pieces. Let's see here. The bottom has a straight cut on it. I'm thinking the least you want for a seat ought to be at least 12 inches, and that's only a bench. So I could, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could cut 4 inches off of this bottom and still have a nice board there. I think I'll do that. Cut 4 inches off this straight edge. Because this board's so wide, I'm not going to be able to anchor it too well, I don't think. So, put my adapters on here. what I'm doing here is I want to salvage this live edge here. And still make a straight cut. I want to at least have a 1x12 when I'm finished at the narrowest point. 12 inches. Looking like about 3 or 4 inches off there. Now this board is crooked on there. This top is not level with the bunk. So one good way of seeing what you're going to end up with, to get a little bit of an eyeball, is to measure the blade. Right there the blade's at 21 inches. And then take your tape and hold it on the bunk at 21 inches. And if you look across, my thumb is on 21. So if I look across there, okay, I'm not going to stay down in the log, but if I go down 1, 2, 3 inches and then figure we're 3 inches over there, I need 4 inches down to get through here nice. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So the reason I cut that like that was so that the live edge, I could keep that whole live edge on the bottom there. I wanted to keep that live edge along the bottom. And now I'm going to cut that at 4 foot long, and I'll make a bench out of that. 4 foot will give me right to here. It's going to keep both of those curves from that live edge. I'll go a little bit bigger than 4 foot, but that's where I'm going to cut this. Shape there. Like I say, I'll probably round the edges on both ends and at here make a bench out of that. Firewood. Alright, so I got 2 benches there. Now you can see I still have more of this white oak left. Right there's a nice piece that has some nice shape to it. Here. And this has some stain on it, but that'll come out in the planer. If you put it through a planer, you could probably sand it out as well. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to cut this into 4 foot just so it's easy for me to handle. I'll decide what to do with it after the fact. I like this edge here. Foot's about right there. It's not really cracked here yet. You can see where the bark had gone through there, but I think if it was put together with as a piece of furniture somehow, I don't know what to do with this, to be honest with you. I'm sure there's guys out there who would know what to do with this type of wood. That's a nice piece of white oak there. It's wet from the rain. 21 inches, 17 inches, 17 inches, 18 inches. Well, I don't know of any artists. I could make an end table out of that. Big enough for an end table. I guess I'll leave this one together. So I have 3 now, that 2 I can make benches. Might be able to make an end table out of this, or a little planter stand of some sort. Okay, firewood. That stuff in the back there, that 2x, I'm going to make stakes out of that. This thing here, I think I'll cut a 1x6 out of this. Make a 1x6, a white oak 1x6 out of this. I can get some kind of a 1x out of that thing, although there's a big hole in it there. Might end up being scrap. Yeah, that's the wavy cut that Carmine had. I'm going to scrap that. And then I'll cut 2x2s out of that big board in the back there. Yeah, he said this one looked like a boot to him, and I guess it does, a pretty tall boot. But I want to make a 1x6 out of it quick. Just thinking, this is a 2x9. I could make some nice legs out of this stuff. Just this, maybe 2 of these together, side by side. I could make legs, or the bench leg, one on each end. So, yeah. So you make a bench about 15 inches. The leg should be 15 inches high roughly. So I think I'll cut that thing up around 16 inches, a couple of pieces. Maybe I can get 4 pieces instead of just cutting it into surveyor stakes. Saying there, I know you heard me, but you didn't see me. I'm going to use, instead of cutting this into surveyor stakes, because I have quite a few there, I'm going to make legs out of this. Like the side of the bench is at least 16 inches or 18 inches wide. So these are 2x9s. I can put these side by side, and bench legs are usually 15, 16 inches long. So I'm cutting these at 16 inches roughly. And then I'll just cut them into legs for one of the benches, or maybe more. It depends on how many I get out of here. make a real fast pair of benches is I usually use 2x6s. So imagine that these are 2x6s. What I do is I cut a 45 out of here on both sides, and I use those 45s for braces between here and the seat. It's very quick. Now, I don't know how, I can't say that it's like really long lasting if you wobble on them too much, but I'm going to make a seat out of, or a bench leg out of this. Probably shape this somehow, give it a little bit of shape so that the corners of the legs are the only thing that hits the ground. So I'm going to need 4 of these for each bench. I got 3, and I can get another 1 or 2 out of here yet, maybe more. So that gives me enough of the legs I'm talking about here for 1 bench. Now I don't think there's enough here. There's only 2 more. So I'll cut some of this into surveyor stakes. I'll cut them into surveyor stakes, and this other one, but I gotta look at it, see what I can get out of that thing, or the saw setting there. This has a crack in it here. Without the crack I can get a nice 1x4. I think this is 12 foot here. Yeah, I can get a 1x4 out of this, and a 1x4 might make a nice apron for around the bench or even a table hanging down. So I think I'll do that with that after the fact. So I got a 1x4 here. Let me finish cutting the 2x2s that I need. You can see that pile is going to make, there's 1, 2, 3 or 4 benches on there. So I need to move that stuff into my shop. And the thing is this white oak has been sitting in a log form for almost a year. Now I haven't checked the moisture content of it, but it doesn't seem to be very high anymore because, for one thing, this boards have been laying out. Yeah, of course they've been getting wet, so I can't really tell if they're going to warp or not. But I think once I glue them together, they won't. Alright, so let me cut some 2x2s out of this, whatever I can, and then I'll use that for survey stakes. Where there's a big crack in this board, I'm going to cut it I think I need to cut this to 6 inches, I'm not sure. Yeah, I can get a 1x6 out of that. So that's what I'll do. Record these videos of doing all this small cutting because it takes a lot of thinking to get what I want, and I'm not sure what that is all the time. So when I make the video, sometimes it seems kind of, you know, there's a lot of things you can dispute, and I don't like making the videos for that. But anyway, this 1x6 I can cut down even further if I want to later. I can rip it on the table saw. But right now I'm going to put all this white oak into my garage and get it ready for making tables or benches. That's what I think I'm going to do with that. So right now I'm going to take this white oak, put it in the garage so I can make benches out of it. And or small table. We'll see what happens. Okay guys, so that's another video. I gotta clean that stuff up. I'm not gonna do it today, it's getting late already. It's probably around, it's around 3 o'clock. I got time, but I don't have the energy. I also need to cut these 2x2s into hubs, surveying hubs, which you can see there's quite a pile of them there. A lot of that's not going to work out, you know, these ends here and stuff. But I'll cut them with the chainsaw and then sharpen them on the miter saw. Okay, have a good one. Bye.